we meet the NASA scientists who repaired a spacecraft from 15 billion miles away.
Human-made object in the universe is sending usable information to Earth again after months of spouting gibberish.
For decades, Voyager 1 has been traveling through space, silently representing humanity among the stars. Now it has received a strange and unsettling message. Bill Nye believes the Voyager missions epitomize our curiosity and creativity, exploring the far reaches of our solar system and beyond. This resilient spacecraft has consistently sent back data, mapping distant planets and entering interstellar space. But what was this mysterious message? Join us as we delve into the meaning behind this message and explore its potential impact on the entire human race, altering our understanding of the universe. The 1977 Voyager travel begins. Back in 1977, NASA launched two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. These were humanity's first ever messages sent into interstellar space, each carrying a golden record, a special disc with sounds and images designed to show other beings what life on Earth is like. Voyager 1, one of these spacecraft, has now traveled far beyond our solar system, and it seems like the universe might actually be starting to talk back to us. Bill Nye, the famous science guy, thinks we're on the edge of finding something huge that could change what we know about history. Ever since people realized how massive the universe is, many have believed that there must be other life forms out there, somewhere in our Milky Way or even in other galaxies far away. With billions of galaxies out there, each containing billions of stars, and many of these stars having planets like Earth, it's not too hard to imagine that there could be hundreds or even thousands of other civilizations out there. Carl Sagan, a big name in the search for life beyond Earth until he died in 1996, even thought there might be as many as 1 million civilizations just in our galaxy. That's a lot of potential aliens. It's easy to see why astronomers back in the 1960s were so excited and hopeful about finding other life forms. The folks at SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, took on the big task of trying to find these alien civilizations. They had two main ways to try to communicate, either meeting face-to-face or chatting from a distance. The first option, where aliens or humans would have to travel across the universe to meet each other, seemed pretty unlikely because of the huge distances between stars in our galaxy. So they went with the second option, which involves sending and receiving radio waves across space. In 1974, astronomers sent out a 210-byte message from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico to a cluster of stars called M13. This message had basic information about us and where we are in the universe, including stuff like the structure of DNA and details about important elements. But that's not all on this story. However, there hasn't been much action in terms of this kind of active chatting with potential alien civilizations. Most of the time, astronomers just listen quietly for any signals that might be coming from outer space. This is where radio telescopes come in handy. These big antennas can pick up longer energy waves that our regular optical telescopes can't see. Radio astronomers point these antennas at stars that look like our sun and tune them to catch signals in the microwave part of the electromagnetic spectrum, usually between 1,000 to 3,000 megahertz. This part of the spectrum is perfect because it's quieter, meaning there's less background noise, which makes it easier to hear faint signals. Plus, there's a special frequency at 1,420 megahertz that stands out because it's associated with hydrogen, a basic element that's all over the galaxy. This frequency is like a universal marker that any civilization knowing about hydrogen would recognize. Since the 1960s, teams from all over the world have been diligently looking for signals from stars in the Milky Way and beyond. As our exploration of planets outside our solar system has expanded, the role of Voyager 1 has turned out to be far more significant than anyone could have predicted almost 5 decades ago. Despite being so old, Voyager 1 is still going strong, constantly sending back data to Earth. This ongoing communication hints at an uncertain yet promising future full of new discoveries. The Voyager missions took advantage of a rare alignment of the outer planets, an event that happens just once every 176 years. This alignment made it possible for the spacecraft to slingshot from one planet to the next, conserving fuel and maximizing distance covered. Originally, NASA planned for its spacecraft to venture far beyond the outer planets like Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. Some probes were even supposed to fly past Uranus and Neptune. Budget cuts, unfortunately, forced NASA to scale down these ambitious plans. But the two Voyager spacecraft that were launched still achieved a great deal. While Voyager 2 had the chance to fly past Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, Voyager 1 focused primarily on the first two planets. Stay tuned for more information on this. NASA also decided to place 2 golden records on the Voyagers, knowing these spacecraft would eventually leave our solar system. These records included a variety of Earth sounds, from the singing of whales to tunes by Chuck Berry, and messages spoken in 55 different languages, in case any extraterrestrial beings might find them and become curious about their origin. These 12-inch records, plated with gold and made of copper, also contain diagrams showing how to play them and information pinpointing the sun's location relative to known pulsars, types of neutron stars that could help locate our solar system. The spacecraft are powered by 3 radioisotope thermoelectric generators, devices that convert heat from the radioactive decay of plutonium into electrical power. Each Voyager is equipped with 10 scientific instruments, including a magnetometer to measure magnetic fields, a dual camera system for imaging, various spectrometers for analyzing materials, and sensors for detecting charged particles and cosmic rays. Using these tools, the Voyagers have conducted a total of 11 scientific investigations, sending invaluable data back to Earth that helps us understand more about the distant planets and moons they encounter. The launch of Voyager 1 on September 5, 1977, was nearly a failure when the rocket nearly depleted its fuel. However, the launch was successful, and the spacecraft quickly moved ahead of its twin, Voyager 2, escaping the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. By April 1978, Voyager 1 was already sending its first images of Jupiter back to Earth. In March 1979, it gave NASA a surprise by discovering a thin ring around the enormous planet and identifying 2 new moons. These discoveries provided significant insights and expanded our knowledge of the outer solar system. Voyager 1's travel to Jupiter and beyond wasn't just about exploring distant planets. It was about discovering entirely new worlds within our own solar system. Alien discoveries on Jupiter's moons. Voyager 1 did a fantastic job of capturing detailed images of Jupiter's big moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, as well as the smaller moon Amalthea. Much like the earlier Pioneer spacecraft, Voyager 2 also showed that these moons were vibrant worlds of their own, each with unique characteristics. Voyager 1 brought back some eye-opening details about these moons. For example, it showed that Io is covered in colorful yellow, brown, and orange spots, and is dotted with many active volcanoes. These discoveries show that moons can have active, changing interiors, just like planets. Additionally, the photos Voyager 1 took of Europa revealed a smooth surface marked by lines, suggesting it might be covered in ice with possibly an ocean underneath. Further research supported the idea that Europa could contain a vast underground ocean of liquid water, which might even support life forms similar to those on Earth. On March 5, 1979, Voyager 1 came incredibly close to Jupiter, flying within 174,000 miles of the giant planet's stormy cloud tops. Saturn was its next stop. A year later, the spacecraft reached Saturn and started sending back close-up pictures of the ring planet, which turned out to be just as full of surprises as Jupiter. One of Voyager 1's specific tasks was to study the F ring, a delicate and recently discovered ring around Saturn. Using its advanced camera, Voyager 1 found 2 new moons, Prometheus and Pandora, which helped keep the particles in the F ring neatly arranged. It also discovered a new ring, the G ring, and captured detailed images of several of Saturn's moons. The primary part of Voyager 1's mission ended with these encounters at Saturn, and then attention shifted to tracking the spacecraft as it continued its voyage toward the far reaches of space. Voyager 1 also took one of the most memorable pictures in space exploration history. On February 14, 1990, 20 years before it would cross into the unknown regions of interstellar space, the spacecraft turned around to take a picture of Earth from a staggering distance of 3.7 billion miles away. This photo shows Earth as a tiny dot caught in a beam of sunlight, known famously as the pale blue dot. Among the numerous pictures taken that day, which included images of the Sun, 5 other planets, and a grand portrait of our solar system, the pale blue dot stands out. It serves as a powerful reminder of our small place in the immense universe. And that's not the end of it. In August 2012, Voyager 1 finally made its way into interstellar space, moving beyond the heliosphere, the vast bubble of charged particles and magnetic fields that the Sun creates around itself. The confirmation of this event came when a significant solar eruption was detected by Voyager 1's plasma wave instrument between April 9th and May 22nd, 2013. This eruption caused the electrons near Voyager 1 to vibrate, and from these vibrations, scientists figured out that the space surrounding Voyager 1 had a higher density than what is found just inside the heliosphere. It's quite surprising to find higher electron density in the sparse interstellar medium compared to the Sun's neighborhood. Scientists explain that at the edge of the heliosphere, electron density drops significantly compared to areas closer to Earth. Scientists dug deep into Voyager 1's past logs and nailed down August 25th, 2012, as the date when it officially exited our solar system. This conclusion was drawn from observing the patterns of electron movements and how the spacecraft measured solar particles, which are tiny bits from our Sun. Interestingly, this significant day also marked the passing of Neil Armstrong, the legendary astronaut from Apollo 11. On that day, Voyager 1 detected a 9% increase in cosmic rays. These are particles that come from outside our solar system, and noted a dramatic 10-fold drop in solar particles. By this time, Voyager 1 was an incredible 11.25 billion miles away from the Sun. Keep watching for more on this story. Ever since it shot into space, Voyager 1 has been sending back tons of valuable data about the area of space beyond our solar system. It's found some really high levels of cosmic radiation out there and shown us how particles from other stars interact with particles from our Sun. The engineers who work with Voyager 1 are still amazed by what it can do. For example, back in December 2017, NASA managed to get Voyager 1 to reorient itself to maintain communication with Earth by using its backup thrusters. These thrusters hadn't been used since Voyager 1 flew past Saturn in November 1980. After that, the spacecraft mostly used its main thrusters to adjust its position to better communicate with Earth. But as these began to wear out, NASA decided to test the older thrusters to see if they could help keep Voyager 1 running longer. Fortunately, this test worked out really well. To help Voyager 1 save energy, the mission team had to turn off the cameras soon after it took the famous pale blue dot picture. Since it's so hard to capture light in deep space, they also had to shut down 5 other scientific instruments. In November of the previous year, Voyager 1 stopped sending any data back to Earth, which means it wasn't picking up any new scientific or operational information. Fixing problems on Voyager 1 is no easy task. It's the most remote human-made object in space. When it suddenly stopped reporting on the space between the stars, NASA had a tough time dealing with it. Because of the vast distance, 15 billion miles, commands from Earth take 22.5 hours to reach Voyager 1. And then the team has to wait another 22.5 hours to hear anything back. All this while, the spacecraft is zooming through space at a speed of 32,000 miles per hour. As Voyager 1 moved past Saturn, its incredible discoveries continued to amaze. But NASA soon faced a significant challenge from billions of miles away: fixing Voyager 1 from afar. For more than 5 months, NASA's team has been tirelessly working on fixing a problem with one of their spacecraft, Voyager 1. The issue started back in March, when NASA tried a simple yet clever method to diagnose the problem, similar to how a dentist uses a quick puff of air to find cavities. They decided to give the spacecraft a sort of digital nudge. This meant sending a specific command to Voyager, instructing it to send back a detailed report of its memory, highlighting any parts that weren't functioning properly. The center of this issue was the Flight Data Subsystem, one of the 3 main computers aboard Voyager. This particular computer is crucial as it's responsible for collecting all the scientific and engineering data and then packing it up neatly to send back to Earth. Unfortunately, during this checkup, NASA discovered that there was a glitch in this system. Instead of sending back useful data, the computer was stuck, repeating a meaningless sequence of binary ones and zeros over and over again. It was as if the computer had lost its ability to speak meaningfully, only producing what could be likened to gibberish. Realizing that they couldn't simply replace the malfunctioning chip from such a distance. After all, Voyager is billions of miles away. NASA's engineers had to get creative. They needed to find a workaround to manage the corrupted code that was causing all the trouble. The big challenge was that there wasn't enough space in any single part of the flight data subsystem's memory to relocate the entire problematic code. To tackle this, the team devised a clever plan. They decided to break down the troublesome code into smaller pieces. By doing this, they could manage each piece separately and find new homes for them in different parts of the spacecraft's memory. This approach required careful planning and coordination, ensuring that all parts of the code could function smoothly once moved. It was a bit like rearranging books on a shelf so that everything fits just right and is still easy to find when you need it. But wait, there's more to it. After much hard work and collaboration, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which oversees the Voyager mission, had some good news to share. They successfully updated the spacecraft's software from billions of miles away, fixing the glitch without having to replace any physical parts. A first-of-its-kind achievement in space history. This feat is considered the most remarkable long-distance software update ever done. Now, with Voyager back on track, the scientists and engineers at NASA are eagerly awaiting a new influx of data. There's a lot of excitement about what this old but incredibly robust spacecraft might still have to teach us about the outer reaches of our solar system and beyond. Voyager 1 continues to be a vital source of information, helping us understand more about the universe. The success of this operation not only shows the ingenuity and determination of NASA's team, but also gives hope for future space missions. It highlights how problems can be tackled remotely, even when they occur on a spacecraft that's billions of miles away from Earth. The lessons learned here will undoubtedly be useful for future missions, possibly even for those that will go beyond our solar system. As we wait for new data to arrive from Voyager 1, there's a sense of anticipation and excitement among the scientific community and space enthusiasts alike. What new information will Voyager reveal next? How will it help us understand the universe better? These are the questions that keep the team motivated and the public fascinated as we all look up at the stars, wondering what discoveries lie ahead. The reason the chip stopped working isn't clear yet, but the team thinks it might have been hit by a high-energy particle from outer space, or maybe it just wore out after being used for 47 years. NASA is still trying to figure out if this happened because of something from the sun or something from far beyond our solar system. Over the years, humans have sent out strong signals into space on purpose, hoping that beings from other planets might pick them up. At the same time, we've caught a few unusual signals coming from space ourselves, including one known as the WOW signal. And there's even more to the story. Back in 1973, the Radio Observatory at Ohio State University, commonly called Big Ear, started its mission to pick up any small signs of signals from aliens, little dots of noise amidst the vast silence of space. On a night in August 1977, they picked up a signal that was unexpectedly loud, not just a faint murmur, but a booming shout. Jerry Amon, a professor from Ohio State, who was volunteering with the Big Ear Project that summer, was no stranger to the data coming out of the observatory's mainframe computer. A bike messenger would drop off batches of computer printouts to Amon every couple of days, and his job was to go through these piles of ordinary data looking for anything that stood out from the normal, quiet background hum. While NASA worked tirelessly to keep Voyager 1 operational, the search for alien life brought forth one of the most intriguing signals ever recorded: strange radio waves from deep space. While looking at data from 3 days before, on August 18, 1977, Amon found something really unexpected. Instead of the usual numbers like 1s, 2s, and 4s, he saw a continuous series of letters and numbers that showed a radio transmission 30 times louder than the normal background noise of space. As a committed teacher, Amon couldn't help but get excited. He took a red marker and enthusiastically wrote, "Wow," next to the strange sequence 6EQUJ5. This event, now famously known as the WOW signal, is one of the strongest indications we have ever had of potentially encountering a signal from extraterrestrial beings. Even though this intense burst of radio waves only lasted for 72 seconds, its distinct features have made many amateur and professional astronomers think it might have come from an alien spacecraft. So why do many astronomers think this might be a message from another world? First off, let's talk about the hydrogen line. The WOW signal was recorded at a frequency of 1420.4556 MHz, which matches almost exactly the electromagnetic wavelength of hydrogen. Based on their research, the SETI team believes that this particular frequency is the best one for communication across the stars. Another interesting point about the WOW signal is its shape. The shape of a radio signal refers to what it looks like when you plot it over time on a graph. At first, the Big Ear recorded the WOW signal as a 6 on their loudness scale. It soon changed to an E, and since the computer used letters for numbers higher than 9, it switched to letters peaking at U, which represents the number 30. The signal then dropped back down to 5. When you plot this sequence, it forms a nearly symmetrical pyramid shape, adding to the unique and intriguing nature of this signal. The sharp focus of the WOW signal is really fascinating. Normally, when stars and galaxies send out radio waves, they spread them over a wide range of frequencies. However, the WOW signal was different. It was extremely narrow. This suggests it could have come from some kind of artificial source, like something made by humans, or maybe even intelligent beings from another planet. Understanding where this signal came from helps complete the picture. The Big Ear telescope, which caught the signal, was watching a part of the sky near the constellation Sagittarius. This area leads directly to the center of our galaxy, which is packed with stars. It would make perfect sense for an advanced civilization trying to reach out to others to aim their message towards such a densely populated part of space. Stay tuned to find out more. The fact that no one has been able to duplicate the WOW signal is often used as an argument that it didn't come from outer space. There are several theories that suggest it was something more ordinary. Maybe it was just a radio signal from Earth that bounced off some space debris, or perhaps it was an accidental transmission from a hidden military satellite. It might even have been a simple glitch in the computer system at Big Ear. Another issue people bring up is the very short duration of the WOW signal. If an alien civilization was trying to get our attention, why would they send a signal that only lasted 72 seconds and was never sent again? There's also a debate about how strong the WOW signal was. To send such a powerful signal across such vast distances and actually reach Earth, the source would need to be incredibly powerful. Some experts think that not even the most advanced civilizations, described as Type 2 on the Kardashev scale, could generate enough energy to send such a signal. The Kardashev scale is a way of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on the amount of energy they can use. These elements make the WOW signal one of the biggest topics of discussion in the search for life beyond Earth. Adding to the intrigue in the cosmos, there's a strange object that's been pulsing radio waves toward Earth every 20 minutes for more than 3 decades. Scientists think it might be a dying star that's emitting energy from its poles, but it spins much slower than expected for such activity. This object has been given the name GPM J183910. Normally, astronomers do see patterns in the radio signals they observe in space, but they usually change much faster than this one does. And there's even more to the story. Over time, some stars cool down and collapse into what's known as neutron stars. Neutron stars are incredibly dense. NASA explains that they can cram billions of tons of material into a space no larger than a city. From their magnetic poles, some neutron stars can shoot out bright beams of light and energy. This is kind of like how a lighthouse works, shining its light out to sea to guide ships. We only see these signals when the beams of energy happen to point our way, lighting up as they spin past us. The strange WOW signal led scientists to uncover more about strange signals and objects hidden in the depths of space. The lethal risks of sharing Earth's location. The early researchers who first spotted these odd signals coming from space thought they were getting messages from beings on other planets because of the regular timing of the signals. They didn't know at that time that what they were actually seeing were signs from a star that was on its way out. Nowadays, it's understood that these signals are from pulsating neutron stars that slow down over time until they hit what's known as the death line. When a star hits this point because it's not massive enough, it starts to fall apart. Usually, you can tell a star has crossed this line when its pulses start happening less often and are more spread out, taking longer than a few minutes between each one. Additionally, something really unusual was found with a star named GPMJ 183910. This star sent out pulses every 22 minutes, and each pulse lasted about 5 minutes, which nobody expected. This wasn't the first time the research team had seen such a slowly pulsating object. They had seen another star before, which pulsed every 18 minutes, and each pulse lasted about a minute. They thought these pulses might be coming from a magnetar, a type of neutron star with incredibly strong magnetic fields. However, GPMJ 183910 had an even more surprising feature. As explained by Hurley Walker, the researchers found out the true nature of GPMJ 183910 while looking through old records. It turned out this star had been sending out signals every 1018.957 seconds, with an accuracy down to about 1/10 of a millisecond. And these signals had been picked up unnoticed by observatories all over the world for years. This regularity was shocking because neutron stars are usually expected to stop showing signs of activity within months. For example, another similar object detected in 2018 was only active from January to March of that year. Yet records show that GPMJ 183910 had been pulsing since 1988, which is nearly 33 years. This long duration suggests that this star might represent a totally new type of star system, pushing us to rethink our understanding of how stars evolve and die. Keep watching to find out more about this. Neutron stars and magnetars are among the most fascinating objects in space. They stretch our understanding of the universe because of how unusual and extreme they are. It's truly surprising to learn about these cosmic phenomena. Meanwhile, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, two spacecraft launched by NASA, continue their voyage across the galaxy. Even though they no longer send signals back to Earth, they carry a special cargo called the Golden Records. These records contain a mix of sounds, music, and images from Earth, meant to communicate the essence of humanity to any intelligent beings that might find them. The Golden Records also include detailed information about where Earth is located within our galaxy. This has raised an interesting question. Is it safe for the Voyager spacecraft to share Earth's location so freely? In the science fiction book Battlefield Earth by L. Ron Hubbard, sharing such information proves risky. In the story, a group of alien invaders called the Cyclos stumble upon Earth thanks to the information provided by the Voyager probes. Earth is portrayed as an outlying star system on the edge of the galaxy, in a universe not completely explored by the Cyclos. It was the last universe their race discovered, and they only found Earth because of the Voyager information. Once they located Earth, the Cyclos invaded, released a toxic gas to kill most of the human population, and started mining the planet for gold and other valuable minerals. This invasion was just part of their routine business, interstellar mining and banking, asserting their control over planets and galaxies with their wealth in gold. As the Voyager spacecraft move farther from Earth into the interstellar space, they still carry this potentially dangerous message. The Voyager Golden Records cover is decorated with diagrams, including one vital map showing Earth's location in the galaxy. As the spacecraft drift through space, they hope to be discovered by a technologically advanced space-traveling civilization. Considering our current knowledge of the galaxy and the many planets that could potentially support life, some experts argue that openly sharing our exact location might be risky. The scenario could invite hostile extraterrestrial beings similar to the Cyclos in Battlefield Earth. While the idea to pinpoint Earth's location was innovative and bold, revealing such specific information could have unforeseen consequences. Those who might intercept this message in the future might not be able to locate Earth precisely due to changes and inaccuracies over time, but the risk of attracting unwanted attention from space remains. The probes from Voyager are still out there in space. The maps and the information they contain about Earth's location are still available for any spacefaring race to find. It's a thrilling yet somewhat unsettling thought. On one hand, the possibility of making contact with another intelligent civilization could open up incredible opportunities for learning and growth. On the other hand, it could also expose Earth to risks we might not be prepared for. But wait, there's even more to the story. These concerns aren't just the stuff of science fiction. In reality, Broadcasting our location into space is a significant decision with potential long-term implications. It raises important questions about our responsibility and foresight as we continue to explore space and attempt to make contact with other life forms. Are we prepared for the possible outcomes of such an encounter? What measures can we take to ensure that any contact with extraterrestrial beings is beneficial or at least not harmful to humanity? The ongoing mission of the Voyager spacecraft with their golden records is a bold statement about human curiosity and our desire to reach out beyond our planet. It symbolizes our quest for knowledge and our hope for friendly connections in the cosmos. Yet it also reminds us to think carefully about the information we share and the potential consequences of our actions on a cosmic scale. As these spacecraft continue their endless drift through the vastness of space, they carry with them not just representations of human culture, but also the ongoing debate about the wisdom and safety of reaching out into the unknown. Did Voyager 1 receive an ordinary cosmic noise, or is there something more, perhaps even a message from an unknown civilization? What do you think this strange reply means for humanity's place in the universe? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.